Hi all, welcome back. Red Storm, Dark Blue Defection, Scenario 5, Dark Blue Defection. This is me, my part 27. I'm going to try and keep my voice a little low at the moment. Tracy's having a bit of a wee sleep, a wee afternoon nap. Yeah, this is me recording the first part for about a week. In fact, just over a week. This is the Tuesday. I came back from holiday on Saturday there, but just never really had the chance to sit and do anything. So yeah. So catching up on a few comments. Not an awful lot. Pretty much I think all coming from John, although I'm not sure. I look back in some of the older comments, I don't know if I've spoke about, I think I've spoke about most of the stuff. So I'm just going to pick up where I think. This is from part 23. John comments, visual, this is when I was a little confused about what column to use on the detection. But I mean, it kind of makes sense how John words this here. He says, visual is for visual. Yeah, what do you know? However, hang on. Visual is for visual when not using IRST. So I want to say that the Warsaw Pack flights, they get 2 attempts. The first one's a visual attempt. The second one's an IRST, but it needs to be in the front arc or something like that, isn't it? So I think if you're carrying out that as the first detection attempt, it's going to be visual, and then if you've got that second one, it's going to be IRST. So he says, yeah, visual is for visual when not using IRST. IRST is for when using IRST as part of a visual detection, either at night or as a second shot at visual detection. So we were using it at night, and that enabled them only to use this one once. So that counts as an IRST check. But I mean, it should. It's called IRST. It's got a column for it. So yeah, I was maybe making more of that than needs to be, really, because it looks pretty straightforward. He says the M25, F4, etc. columns are all for radar detection attempts, yeah. And I think I did get confused when I was looking at one of the MiGs, wasn't it? I can't remember what MiG it was, and I was looking at IRST, or was it MiG-23? I was looking at these both, where I should have been looking at, it should either been between visual or IRST. And I think for them at night, it has to be the IRST thing, doesn't it? I think so, anyway. So I replied, yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I think I was maybe, sometimes I'll read into these things a bit much. The other comment he makes is the F111s need a 4 rated runway. I eventually spot this, don't I? Which I'm assuming John will see further on. He says, not sure what the nearest runway capable of taking an F111 is, but it is nothing nearby. Yeah, I eventually go up for Brenker Mark. I actually noticed this one here, Paderborn's a 4 as well, which they're both about the same. And I think we were heading for Brenker Mark. I think one of John's later comments says that, yeah, the way we're running into the way I'm planning to go into the airfield is should be good. So I replied to that, yeah, eventually realise this and head for Brenker Mark. So that was it from part 23. So 24. Right, this is only just one comment for part 24, but because it was me talking about John's previous comments to another part, so it was difficult to work out exactly what all happened here. I understand what it is he's saying. Well, his comment is, actually, and this is at the 46-minute, 45-second mark, actually, your move to put Wolf at low due to the mountains means Wolf and Mother were no longer stacked, since stacking only occurs in the same hex and altitude. So that would make your latter move to target Mother valid. Yeah, and it's when I moved in with Wolf and we realised this hex was a mountain hex, we realised a couple of things. One of them was that he had the chance of crashing, didn't he? Because he doesn't have the, what is it, TFR. And the other issue was, yeah, that he was actually all over mountains at deck altitude, and I was pretty sure you couldn't do that. Nothing was really mentioned about that, so I'm just assuming I did get that right. And John's not really, he said that your move to put Wolf at low due to the mountains tends to me that was correct, and that should have been what happened. So when I stacked them both, I think initially I must have thought they were both at the same altitude, and that must have stopped me from targeting Mother, because they were, the stacking only occurs in the same hex and altitude. Right, hang on a second here. I might have actually just been looking at all that wrong. Although I maybe get away with it there because I make that change. Yeah, what John's saying there is, this bit here that stops me from, hang on, where is it? No, here, ignoring human player flight stacked with bot flights. So I think I would have thought that two flight, it wouldn't have mattered what altitude they were at, they were still considered stacked. Well, that's not right, and John's just, confirming the fact that stacking only occurs in the same hex and altitude. I'm glad he's brought that up now, because I don't think I would have thought that. I would have thought that two flights stacked in the same hex, well, when I say stacked, I mean in the same hex together, no matter what altitude they're at, I would have said that would then stop this from happening. And that's not the case. So, yeah, but I don't think I've thought of that. I think I've got away with it because I've actually changed Wolf's altitude to low because of the mountains. And he says that would have made, later on, it would have made Mother a valid target to the other flight. I think this has maybe been a bad one, actually. I replied with, okay, I think I see what you're saying here. To be honest, I can't 100% see what he's saying until I read that there just now, but I do now know what he's meaning. He says, and then I follow up, but I can't just recall what all happened after that. I can only hope that there was no major error here. Well, you know what? I bet if I went and looked back on that, it looks like there should have been another flight enabled. Whether it was able to engage Mother or not, I'm not sure. I think that might have been a big blunder. Because if there was another flight eligible to engage Mother and was able to do it, then, well, we might not be sitting where we are right now. Yeah. That's probably a bad one. That's probably something that's going to have a big asterisk now on the scenario, unfortunately. I'd like to go back and maybe look at where this happened. But I can't, because I'm talking about comments from a previous part. I need to find out where the comments, well, I suppose I could look back on that and find out. Well, give me a second. Okay, I tried to look back on things here, and it's quite interesting because I make a bit of a mess of it, but I get away with it because I still target Mother, I think. I get away with it, and John's obviously not noticed that at that time. Well, hang on, is that before I actually adjust the Wolves' flight and put him at low because I realised that he can't be at deck in the mountains? So I think I've actually got away with it. And because we still moved Mechlin flight targeting Mother, which would have still happened. Now I will have to be careful because I also noticed on playing card 1 when I'm looking at that back, this is the same as well, because that says I look at this is one of the engagement requirements: defender detected and not stacked with friendly flight. Now again, that word stacked, where you would maybe think that two counters stacked together counts like that. It's not. Like John said, the meaning that the stacking is two flights in the same hex at the same altitude. So I'll need to be careful with that, and I'm glad that's came up because I could see myself having blundered with that, and hopefully now that will be okay with me. So I actually think we did get away with that. Maybe John might have a better view on what happened if he was tracking everything right there, though. So he can maybe let me know, because if it had been the case that Mother should have been targeted and there was a flight closer that could have targeted and maybe attacked her, but I don't think that was the case. I think we maybe got away with it. But anyway, so good one to have brought up though, John. Right, so that was 24. We've got just one from 25, one from 26, I think. Okay, there's a few comments this time. This is from 25, 8-minute mark. If Meklin and Markov are at the same altitude, they're already stacked at the start of Markov's move, and one of them should not be in its current position. Now, yeah, I maybe should have read more into the rules about this. It's when Meklin and Markov were in. One of them was in the hex, and one of them was on the spine of the hex, and they were both at the same altitude. Now, I just sort of assumed and said, well, we can say that one of them's in that hex, one of them's in that hex, you know, so that they're not in the same hex and they're not stacked together at the same altitude. However, John has said that when you're on a hex side, you're technically in both hexes. So you've got to classify the flight as being in both hexes. He says, he carries on, he says, I thought they were at different altitudes, so I'd not said anything up to now. So he never noticed that because they thought they were at different altitudes. So they shouldn't have actually been in that state. I'm assuming I just couldn't have moved one of them to that position at that time. So again, another good one to have got brought up so that I now know for the future. I don't think it would have been a huge big deal there. And I can't go back and fix that because the flights have moved away. So, but anyway, I just said, okay, my bad then. We'll just have to let that one go now, but thanks for mentioning it. Yeah, another good one, like I say, just to get sunk in. Yeah, looks like you're on the right track to landing the slam flight. Okay, so that's what I was trying to do there, and I think I mentioned that. Okay, the 25-minute, 55-second mark. The rules is written order. This is for how everything fires at your flights, AAA-wise and SAM-wise. Is barrage, fire can, mobile, and then SAM. Now, I've got that, I get that, I know that how it works. But he carries on to tell us more about the small arms, because I wasn't 100% sure about that. However, the small arms technically happens at the end of the movement phase, which I know. He says, though I do it at the end of each flight's movement as the last thing. So the order should probably be the two 2K22 shots. That order is not specified, so you can choose. So, you know, yeah, as there was an inherent 2K22 and a real 2K22, you can do them as you choose. There's nothing to decide which one, it doesn't matter. So that should be in the order first. Remember, we've no fire cans, so they would technically come before any 2K22s, but there's none of them. And there was no actual AA barrages apart from the small arms, but because they should happen at the end. So two 2K22s, then the SAM attempt, if it fires at long range, so it was at long range at the time, and then the small arms. He carries on, the only reason it matters is that if one of the previous things shoots down the last helicopter, the remaining shots won't happen. Technically, if the small arm shoots something down, it could also affect enemy flights. But I tend to think that's a small chance, and you can roll, but then apply the results at the end of the movement phase. But okay, I see where he's going with that. I said, okay, I think I've done I had the order sorted. I wasn't sure about the small arms, but now I'm going to follow that for sure. So we're going to do the small arms last if we ever come up with that again. next comment is telling me how I could also get in the rear hemisphere of a flight by turning. I just said, yeah, I'm sure I make hard work of some of these moves, these turns. You can have a look at that and maybe see how the pros do it. Okay, so the 47-minute mark. Yeah, Wolf is locked into either Mother or Vegas, so you can keep the die roll with zero shame. This is when I rolled out of turn. I should have been doing something else first, but the die roll was important to me, and I wanted to keep it. But because nothing had changed, John's is confirming that yeah, nothing had changed. It still would have been the same thing. So he tends to agree that it's all right to have kept that die roll. Yeah, and then the last comment here is, much like dummies in real flights don't have to share the same symbol, split flights do not have to be the same symbol as a parent flight. Yeah, I did wonder about this. My reply was, okay, fair enough, though I'm not sure how you'd actually make the choice of symbol. And I guess, I've just put randomly, I guess. He has just come back with another comment though, so I wonder if that's in response to what I've said there. Well, give me a sec. Yeah, it's when I split. Oh. Right, sorry, phone call interruption. Yeah, so I was talking about when I split the flight, and I split who was it split? Was it Dodge? Dodge was a diamond, and I used another diamond as another flight. And basically, John says, yeah, they don't have to share the same symbol. And I was saying, well, how would you choose? I don't think there was anything there to say in the rules. I mean, there might have been splitting flights. I think it just says you create a new flight log for the other flight. It's probably not a huge big deal, but I've just assumed that you would just then do it randomly between the three suits and pick one. Now here we go. It is his response here that I've not read yet, as in regards that. He said, first flight for the correct aircraft that I grab is my usual method. I think the intention is to have all suits equally represented, relatively, so I suppose a more proper way is to pick the least used suits of all flights on the map. Oh, okay. And when you say the least used suits of all flights, do you mean just the NATO flights there, or... I would assume so, because when you're making the die rolls for suits, it's either NATO or Warsaw Pact, isn't it? So yeah, basically what I think John's saying there, that if we had like 3 diamonds and a heart and we didn't have a spade, for instance, then the other flight would maybe split into a spade, because we didn't have any. But if we had, if you only had 3 flights on the board, one was a diamond, one was a heart, one was a spade, then I guess maybe just roll randomly to see what one came in. Okay, good stuff. I'll give you a wee thumbs up to that then, John, because I didn't see that wee note. And that was that. So just one more comment, I think, from part 26. Yeah, and it was just John. He's saying when coming at a flight from the front and trying to get into the rear hemisphere, the furthest you have to go is directly 90 degrees left or right of the target's facing and facing the target. So climb in free turn, move in free turn, then move into the hex, puts Markov into one of 108's hexes with choice of front or rear hemisphere. Well, I think I eventually get there, but like my reply is, I say you make it sound so easy. Yeah, I don't know. I just maybe that would become more easy, and that's what John comes back with. He says it's more a matter of experience with the system. And he asked me, I hope I had a good break. I did. I had a great holiday golfing with the guys. Yeah, it's very good. Looking forward to it again next year. We'll make a yearly event of it. So, right, good stuff. Right, well, that's everything. Yeah, 20 minutes. Well, I didn't expect it to be that long, actually, because there wasn't an awful lot there. But I think that's me up to date, everyone, and I've also replied here and there. So I think we can maybe just try and push on. Get a little bit done now, and I might get a bit done later on. Okay, well I can see it is our turn. Looks like we've had one initiative each. We moved mother. We now know that she should be safe. There's not been any comments on any of that, so it seems like I might have that right. I just moved that a bit. Is he facing the... I think he was facing the edge rather than the spine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. Yeah, because he's scattered, hasn't he? He went and attacked 108 and scattered, so I think when you scatter you can't end up facing the spine of a hex, I don't think. Just if you nudge them that little bit, it could... I mean, is it a huge big deal if he's facing the spine or the side? Well, it might be. To be honest, it might be. Right, okay. So it's our turn. We've not drawn an initiative check. We've got 108 flight. We've got our bombers. They're going away. The 108 flight is okay. He's got a manoeuvre marker on. Yeah, I watch him back. Obviously, to be honest, I'd hoped to watch back 25. I was halfway through 25, and then I was hoping to finish that off before I went away on holiday. And then, yeah, I had a strange thought that I might watch part 26 when I was away, but there was other things going on, you know, golfing and enjoying myself and whatever. So there was no time to sit and watch. But maybe there was, but I didn't get around to it anyway. Even on the plane, I thought maybe on the plane, but no, I didn't. Yeah, and I remember, just catching up just when I got back, and I'd rolled a 20 on that morale check, which we were getting a -4 for, I think, something like that. So he survived pretty well. So we've got Dodge here is sitting in medium altitude, and he's okay. 108's okay, he's got a manoeuvre marker. Vegas must be the one that's got all this on it, so he's disordered now. Chevy's disordered and aborting, and Slam is aborting. But for their flights, yeah, they still, because Markov got away with it as well, didn't he? Markov got away with the morale roll as well, so he's still in the game. And we do still need to worry about maybe Klein or maybe Mecklin when he gets over here about regrouping and getting the disorder off him. So yeah, we've still got a couple things to watch out for. We're on turn 10 though, so yeah, pretty confident we can get away with this. Still not 100% sure about if we're going to have to roll for the recovery. I think we must have to do that, but we'll look into that later, and yeah, we'll see. Okay, right. Well, I just need to draw an initiative check, I think, to see what we're getting. So let's do that. Let's make sure there's 10 in here because it's been a while. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, all there. Right, and I just almost spilt them out the cup. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, they're still there. Right, here we go. Right, for the NATO side. 4 on the large, so 2 on the small. 2 flights to move. I'll take that away. Right, so what are we going to do? What's important? Like I say, this can't do anything. This can't do anything. Vegas can't do anything. And I don't think any of these are going to have time to get back. Where's the nearest? It's Allendorf. Is Allendorf safe? Yeah, this one wasn't a good orbit point, but this one was, wasn't it? So I mean, even Vegas turning and Vegas has got a manoeuvre marker on him as well. Yeah, Wolf must have engaged him last turn. Or was it? That might have been the one that Wolf didn't roll an engagement, and we decided to go with ourselves because we rolled a yes. I think that was that one. Maybe it might have been this one. Anyway, okay, so we moved mother. So I suppose Dodge is our main flight, isn't it? He's a good. Well, I say he's a good flight. He's only got 2 aircraft because he's the one that split. He's got -3 aggression. And 108. Yeah, 108, so they're half of that split flight, so he's not much better. His aggression's only -2, but he's got a manoeuvre marker on him. Okay, well, I suppose I should try and do something with Dodge then. What I don't want to end up doing though is I want Dodge to be targetable, so I'm not sure I want to go into standard area combat, become undetected, and then that's a bit of a risk, isn't it? Yeah. Well, hang on though, Grant. Markov's moved this turn. He's the only one that could threaten Mother this turn. So there's not an issue there. What the worry could be is that next turn, if I do something with Dodge, I mean, I'm sort of tempted to. Well, should I not try and engage Markov though? He's at high altitude. We're at medium. Would I be able to get around and engage him? I'm not sure. Medium altitude for the F4. Sorry, I'm maybe going to be trying to catch up here a bit as well, because although it's only been just over a week, it's still my memory's not the best. So at medium we've got a speed of 4, or we could dash at 5. So let's just say, yeah, it looks like we might still be able to. If I chose speed 4, we could climb an altitude band and turn. 2, 3, no, we'd need to be at speed 5 for that, wouldn't we? Yeah, I'm not so sure I can actually engage Markov, even at speed 5, because then I lose the turn, so, and I need to climb an altitude band. So I don't think I could. I could engage Klein or even Mechlin if I wanted to, both of which are disordered. I guess the worry is that Klein maybe gets a die roll this turn, but there's risks. I mean, I'm going into this is the one flight I've got left. Maybe I should just not do. Well, I need to do something with Dodge, but maybe I should just leave him. Don't know. Is that silly? I think I'd rather he stay detected. So, because if I do engage in air, then he's definitely going undetected after the scar. Now, he might get detected again in the detection phase, but he might not. And then, if Klein does come back to life, Mother's his target. Markov would also have Mother as the target. Actually, no. 108 flight. Well, again, he's undetected though, you see. Yeah, I think I'm going to just fly Dodge. I don't know, just make sure that Dodge is round about here. Like, as closer to Klein, but then Klein's got to move first. He's just going to orbit the airfield. Yeah, I probably want to get... I don't want to be having the initiative, do I? I want their flights to move and then just see the situation. And then the last move, I probably want to move Dodge last. Okay. Right, let's just move Chevy then. Because nothing else can attack anything. So it doesn't. The rest of it doesn't matter. I just want to know where... I guess I want to know where Klein's going to end up. Wolf, what's the story with Wolf? He's disordered as well. Is he not aborted then? There he's there. No, he just became disordered. So he's going to try and fly to Cassel, maybe? I think. To try and remove his disorder. Remember, he that only happened this turn, I think. Yeah, I think so. Right. Come on, Grant. 30 minutes now and you've done nothing. Okay, I'll move Chevy then. He's at high altitude. He's aborting. He basically just want to get across the other side of the front. He's not damaged the aircraft or anything though, so he's not really got any issues. So let's move him at high. Yeah, he can dash. He's got 3 fuel points left. To be honest, he doesn't need to dash. So at high, he gets a speed of 4, or he could dash at 6. I don't see the point in him dashing. He's the bottom. Yeah. Well, I'm just going to get him across the front, I think. So I'll leave him at combat throttle. 1, 2, 3 turn, 3, 4. I think we'll just put him there. Staying at high altitude. He's disordered. Yeah. And well, my bombers, they're going to attempt to land, so there's a bit to look at with that. So I'll leave that for the moment. So I think we want to leave Dodge to last. We've got 108 flight as well, though, Grant. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, because he could get involved. He's got a crippled aircraft, though, hasn't he? He's the one that's got the crippled aircraft. So I just want to keep him in the mix so that if he becomes detected again, I want him and Dodge to be looked at, hopefully, rather than Mother. That's the thing, yeah. That's what I want. Right, let's look at Vegas then, because Vegas is a mess. Well, he's got a manoeuvre marker, so he's got to spend, and he's at low altitude. Yuck. Right, he wants to get up higher. He's on the good side of the front, though. So, yeah, all the stuff's on his card there, so there it's there. He's got a max turn as well. Ugh. Well, that's fine though, because I can use my movement point to climb. So at low altitude, oh dear. He's got a speed of 3 unless I dash. He's got to spend half of that to remove the manoeuvre marker. That's going to leave me 1 point. Or if I dash at 5, that leaves me 2 points. I don't think it makes much odds. How much fuel has he got? What is it? This is Vegas we're talking about. Grant, not Dodge. Vegas. Sorry, I was pointing at this one, I think. It's that one there. Yeah. He's got 2 fuel points left. So... yeah, let's do I want to dash him and do a climb free turn. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna dash him, so I'm gonna put a dash marker on the card as well. So he's got a speed of 5. I'm going to spend half of that 5, and it's going to round up to remove the manoeuvre marker. So I've got two movement points left. I'm going to climb from low to medium. So I'm going to take that low marker off and put a medium one on his card. And I'm going to do a free 30-degree turn in that. Yeah, because I set my speed at 5, didn't I? Ooh, wait now. Can I not set... I could have set my speed at 4, but still dashing. Yes, and I would have got a free 60 degree. Let's do that then. So I set my speed at 4, use half of it to remove the manoeuvre marker. So I had 2 points left. Movement. I used my first movement point to climb to medium altitude because I can't turn straight away because I've got a max turn marker, which I'm going to remove as well. So I climbed them and then free turned them 60 degrees. I've got 1 movement point left, and then I'm just going to move them down. Am I? Yeah, well, I can't turn them because they turn in that hex, so I'm just going to move them one other hex south. I mean, I suppose he's wanting to try and get to Allendorf. But now he's at medium altitude as well, because he was at low altitude, and although he's on the good side of the front, it's better being up a bit higher, I think. Yeah, because he's disordered. Right, so he's disordered. That's what he's left with on his card now. A dash marker, medium altitude, disordered. And that's him done. Okay, right, that's our 2 initiatives done, so it's back over to the Warsaw Pact. But I think, like I say, all their flights are... Everything that's left is disordered, I think. Isn't it? Wolf's disordered, Klein's disordered, Mecha's disordered, and... Is there another one? No, the other one left the map, didn't it? Reef. So yeah, so the other 3 flights are disordered. So, but I'd rather, I just want to see where Klein's going to go, because he's the one that maybe could come back at the end of his turn. Right, chip draw. It's a 2. That's not what we want. They do have a 1 on the small side though, so it's not the 0 at least. Okay. Right, so just having a look at the suits. Wolf's a heart. Just check that. Mecon's a heart. Klein's a diamond. So we can only move one of these. Right, so I'm going to roll just odd or even here. So let's just say hearts are odd. I've rolled odd, so it is hearts. So it's between Wolf and Mechlin. Who's got the closest human power flight? 1, 2, that's 3 away. 1, 2, Mother's 3 away. Mechlin 1, 2, 3 away as well. Yeah, so to be honest, I'm gonna have to randomise between them both, I think, because this isn't checking anything else. It's just checking who's the closest human power flight. Yeah, sorry, that's a flight there as well. But again, that's 3 away. That's 3 away. Right, so let's roll. Wolf is odd. I rolled a 1, so it is Wolf. That's a pity. I would have preferred. Oh no, it's Klein that I wanted to move, wasn't it? So that didn't really matter. Okay, so this is going to move Wolf. He's got disordered and a manoeuvre marker. So the manoeuvre marker comes first. Combat throttle, spend half its movement points to remove it. Right, combat throttle for Wolf at medium altitude is a 4. So he's going to set his speed at 4, combat throttle, and spend 2 of that 4 removing that. So he's got 2 movement points left. I'm now going to go down to disordered, and then it's 1 to... Can't set dash because we've already set combat shuttle. Climb on altitude band. Well, he can do that, and then move as closest to the nearest orbit point. Right, I think it's Cassell, right? Mind you, I made a blunder with this. Hal had to pull me up for that one. Well, didn't have to, but pointed it out to me then that I had made a bit of blunder, and I think I tried to make a weird kind of fix to that. But if you look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, he's 5 away from that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's 6 away from Fritzlar. So I think Cassell's he's heading that way as well. Alright, maybe I didn't show you both of them, but there we are. So my guess is that's where he wants to head. So he's got 2 movement points left. He's started with a speed of 4, wasn't it? So he can do. So he's going to climb an altitude band for his 1 and 2 movement points and do a free 60-degree turn. And then his second movement point is going to move him into that heading towards Cassel. Okay, sounds good. That's him done. Right, that was their initiative over. It's back to us again. How many have we got left? We've got 1, 2, 3 left, and they've got 2 left. So yeah, we kind of want a low number here. Oh god, that's a 5. That's going to be a 2, isn't it? Right, so 2 out of the last 3 flights. Right, well that's going to mean... oh no, I've only got 2 flights left. No, yeah, the 108 flight. So, well, the 108 flight's got a manoeuvre marker. At medium altitude, it can have a speed of 4 or 5, and to be honest, yeah, there's no point setting it at 5 because you end up with the same. So I set combat throttle at 4 for a 108 flight. Yeah, I don't think he doesn't want to get involved. He just wants to... He wants to move a wee bit closer to Mother, I think. I think that's what I want to do. Does he want to climb altitude or anything? Not really. No, stay at medium altitude just now. So he's going to spend half of his 4 movement points at combat throttle to remove the manoeuvre marker. And then maybe just move 2 hexes ahead, I think. And stay at medium altitude. So he's facing the hex side there. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I'm doing with him. Because, I mean, he might become detected, and then that makes him Mechlin's target. Markov's target. Yeah. And dodge, we want to make sure dodge is closer to Klein. Well, and Markov as well, just in case that stays undetected. Yeah, so I've got one more, that's one of my initiatives. So the other one, yeah, it's got to be the bomber, isn't it? Okay, let's see if we can set him up for landing then. I think I worked out I had to do it this turn, didn't I? Well, we've not done this before, and I think I just decided why not, do it. So he's at deck altitude, so that must be good. Right, hang on. Wait till I get the rules for landing up. Right, 9.14 landing, page 15. It takes 3 game turns to land. Once landing is begun, the procedure cannot be stopped or interrupted unless the flight is attacked in any way, in which case it reverts to normal movement. Flights may only land at an airfield rated equal to or greater than the aircraft's runway rating. Well, yeah, we blundered at first and then realised that we could go here. I think we were trying to go somewhere else at first. Because he's got a runway rating of 4. You might just, if I move along a little bit. Yeah, there's there, on the card there. Just under the 2 crew. So, and Brenker Mark has a runway rating of 4. Okay, to begin landing, the flight must be at deck altitude and at combat throttle. Okay, so I think this is us starting our 3 turns, because we're going to 10, 11, and then 12. So this is turn 10, so this is, and we only go to 12 turns, so let's at least start this, whether we need to finish it or not. So we're at deck altitude, so we're going to set combat throttle at deck altitude. And that's going to give us a speed of 3. Right, I must have worked out that I could make this. So we've got a speed of 3. That's not quite in view, Grant. Maybe just zoom out a little bit there. Right, so speed at 3. On the game turn landing begins, the flight may select any speed between 1 and their maximum combat speed. The flight must end movement in a hex adjacent to the airfield, with the airfield in its forward arc and pointed in the same direction as one of the runways. Right, so I worked out it's a bit of a stretch, so I'll stand up. I worked out, well, John said I was on target for it, so let's just, maybe I should just chuck a wee flight there and give me a sec. Okay, just put another flight underneath them. So, 1, now I'd get a free, oops, that's not a manoeuvre marker, it's a abort marker. That's what I'll just chuck that on the card out of the way. So 1, yeah, I think I decided 1 free 30-degree turn, then 2, then 3 free 60-degree turn. I think that's how I decided it was going to be. And then that way it's in my forward arc and we're facing the runway. Now, I wasn't sure, I think I might be able to get away with finishing like that, but I'm not 100% sure because the runway does go, you know, it's exactly horizontal, it's not on an angle, where if you look at this airfield here, you know, it's going that way. So if I'm literally to look at it the way it lies, I think I need to be like that. Now, I think I must be okay, because I mean it does look like you kind of like want to be in the hex side there to be able to move into the hex, but I think I can get away with that, and we're moving into the hex there. Maybe John will keep me right if I've done this wrong, but he did seem to think we were okay about doing it. It's not a huge big deal. It was really just to try it out and probably see if we're getting it wrong, that John can, or on anybody else for that matter, can let me know that where I went wrong with it. So that's that. I think we can take that away. Just let me follow up. So that's the first of the 3 turns. And the flight must end at movement in a hex adjacent to the airfield, yep. With the airfield in its forward arc, yep. And pointed in the same direction as one of the runways. So I think that's right. It says next game turn, instead of regular movement, the flight advances into the airfield hex without changing altitude. And then on the following turn, instead of regular movement, it lands. The flight that's landed is unready and blah blah blah. Remove any disordered or abort marker on the flight. So there we go. So I think that's right. My only sort of doubt is maybe we should be in that hex edge, but I think John seemed to say we were okay to do it, and that's as far as I can get movement wise from there, I think. Okay, we'll go with that. So is that my 2 initiatives over? I think it is. We've got dodge left now. So I'm kind of hoping that the Warsaw Pact's going to do something here. Right, yeah, because they've still got 2 left, and we want climb moved. I mean, doesn't matter, Grant. I'm sure you can move dodge to make, well, maybe not. Right, anyway, let's draw a chip for them. Let's see what's what. So, here we go. 3 in the large, 2 in the small, perfect. That's going to move both their flights, then they'll go left. Okay. Right, and we've got, there's a diamond and a heart they've got. So I'll just roll odd or even. So heart's odd. It is odd. So it's going to be Mechlin first. He's at high altitude and is disordered. So he's just going to reach Fritzler. Now he wasn't disordered or attacked this turn. No. So he will get the roll this time. So at high altitude, right, if not adjacent, set dash throttle. Well, there's no point in setting dash throttle. You can reach with normal throttle, so let's not bother with that. MiG-23M at high altitude, it's got a speed of 5, or he can dash at 8, but there's just no point. So he's going to set his speed at 5. In actual fact, well, yeah, but here's the thing, my worry would be that hex is as close to mother as you can get. It's 1, 2, 3. Well, mind you, so that is 1, 2, 3 away from mother as well. But if he ended up there, he's 1, 2, 3, 4 away from mother. Yeah. But I can't really, there's nothing to sort of guide me here about what I'm meant to do. So let's just follow the rules. Move as close as possible to nearest orbit rally point or friendly airfield. So I'm going to leave him at speed 5 then and just move him adjacent to Fritzlar. I was going to reduce his speed to 4 so that he could do the 60-degree turns, but again, there's nothing sort of saying you should do that. So the thing he's got to watch is he can't end up in the same hex as Klein, or they will be stacked at the same altitude then. So let's look at the speed at 5 and let's see if he can work his way through that. Right, if he's got a 5, 1, 2, 3, 30-degree turn. See, that's as far as he needs to go. That's why I was kind of thinking, should we reduce his speed to 4, because he doesn't really need 5. But I'm starting to think that if I go round more up there, it's going to be maybe more beneficial to them. But there's nothing in the rules saying that I should be trying to do that. But I don't want it to be looking like I'm trying to keep him down this side. I'm not trying to do that. Obviously, I can't stop him there anyway. He's only spent 2 movement points up to now. So let's just carry on with the 5 and go 3. But then no turn here, and then I'll do a 60-degree turn to make it 4, and then I'll spend the last point moving in there for 5, and I won't turn him because then he ends up with a max turn marker. He's still disordered, he's at high altitude, and we'll move that over there. And we'll take that away. And that was 5 movement points. Yeah, I think that was okay. And now he's around his orbit point, his rally point, Fritzlar. And now what is he? Well, he's 1, 2, 3. You see, he's 4 away. But I don't think I could have reached that hex to make him 3 away. So I don't know. Maybe I could have turned so he'd come up that side or not, but you know what? I don't really think it's going to matter, because I think I'm going to bring Dodge Flight up into here somewhere. So Dodge is going to be closer. But then I suppose you could say, well, Dodge could become undetected in the track phase, and then yeah. Okay, that's that flight. So Klein is disordered. He's at high. He's already there. He just wants to set combat throttle, stay at current altitude, and then move as necessary to remain adjacent. So his high is only a speed of 4, so you can do the turns. So I'll actually start him with a turn, I think. 30, 60 for 1, 2, 3, 30, 60, 3, 3, 30, 60, and then 4 into that hex there. Was that right? That's his stuff there. I know it kind of looks like I moved him further away, but I mean, all I'm doing is going round the orbit point. I'm not, I don't think I could have really done anything different. I've just got to keep going around that orbit point, and whatever movement points they have. Yeah, I could have dropped the speed to 3 rather than 4, but I probably left them back in that hex, which isn't any closer. Yeah, until things are, if anybody ever does tighten up the rules and all that. But you can see how complicated that could start making the AI. Keep flying around your orbit point, but how could it then also consider it wants to look at mother right now? Because I'm looking at it that way, but how can the AI be looking at it that way? You can see how complicated it could start getting. But and that's basically. I mean, I suppose all I can do is try and play it, you know, as if I did have some input as the bot, you know, what I would have liked to do. Maybe I could have made a better job of that, but I don't want to start messing about with it too much, yeah, because it's not. Okay, right. Right, that's all their flights move. So we've only got dodge flight to move. He's at medium altitude. He doesn't have any issues. He's only got 2 aircraft. So he's at medium altitude. He's got a speed of 4. I could dash him at 5. I think I probably just want to leave him at 4. I probably would have liked to have climbed him to high altitude, to be honest. Because once I cross the front, if you're at medium and you get involved and then get scattered down to low, then you start taking grief. So, well, can I get? He's 1, 2, 3, 4 away, and he's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 away. So as long as I get to somewhere like there, so if I climb to high with a free, let's set my speed at 4, climb to high. I better just put a flight there, just in case. So, yeah, so speed of 4, climb to high. I've got 3 points left. And I give myself a free 30-degree turn there. And then, oh, hang on. What's this flight at? Oh, no, I can move through it. Just as long as I don't end up on it. So I've got 3 movement points left. So I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 30-degree turn. Do I want to do that? And then end up there. That's definitely, I mean, Mechlin and, was it Klein? Both of them are going to look at dodge, assuming he's detected. And even Markov, well, maybe not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, see, Mechlin's going to roll between dodge and mother right now. But you know what? He's got a maneuver marker on him. He's not going to reach either one, so I can worry about that later. And the 40... Oh, no, that's not. 48, the 108 flight here might become detected as well, and then that would be his target, so... Yeah, I just wonder if I should have left him one short though, and then that definitely means Markov's his target. Oh, no, come on, that's fine. So, dodge is at high. He's still at high. He's moved into there. We can take that away, and that's him done. That's all our flights done. So all the flights moved, isn't that? I think. Yeah, right, so let's move into the end of the turn and we'll wrap this video up. I will remove the blue cubes. Okay, that's that done. Put in card 4. Just get my sequence of play. Right, so fuel phase. I don't think there was many used dash. Right, yeah, the only flight that's used dash is Vegas flight. That's the one that we've got stuff on his card. In fact, I can probably take this away now. So that was Vegas. So let's mark a fuel point off for him. He's only got 1 left. And I should be able to put his markers back on for the moment. Medium disorder. It's always better up there, as you can see it. Yeah, so I'm also going to put that marker back. I'd rather not have them on the cards if I don't need it. Right, there was nothing that left the map. Time location, no. Right, track phase. So let's roll for some of that. This is kind of important because I don't want dodge going undetected, really. Okay, so going to roll. Well, maybe I should let you see this die roll then. And the only thing that can affect it, well, it's only in curly brackets at deck and low. So let's just get the dice over here and roll on the track table. This is 2 dice, yeah, 2 dice. And we'll roll for our guys first on the C column, because that's the Warsaw Pacts detection level. And see what we got. 18. Right, I think that might be nothing. Yeah, it's too high, it's nothing. That's a dodgy one though. 14, 15 and 16 are each one of the suits, so you can see we weren't far away from that. So nothing there. And I suppose since I've got it there, I don't think the Warsaw Pact one's is important, but so on the D column for the Warsaw Pact fights, there's 7. That is a curly brackets hearts. So any hearts that are at deck or low on their side of the front. Well, sorry, at deck or at low on their side of the front. Hearts. Well, Mechlin is at high, not any good then. He's a heart. He's at high. We've all got heart, diamond, Marcos. Yeah, Markov and Wolf are undetected enemy. So yeah, so nothing doing there. Nothing happening. Right. Moving on. Sam acquisition, nothing happens here. Right, and the phase. Flights roll for disorder recovery. Okay, so I think both Klein and Mechlin can take this on. Who else have we got? Wolf. Right, let's look at the ones that have got a chance, because these two have a chance, right? So Klein was the sort of, well, actually they're both just as important now, aren't they? So I'll roll for Klein first. Now Klein has a -1 aggression, but he's getting a +8 for being around the rally point. So this is a +7 die roll for Klein to see if he can remove his disorder. And this is a result we don't want to see. So with a +7 and they need 20. So here we go. 12. Ooh, he's 1 short. Ooh, that's lucky and good. 12 + 7 is 19. 1 short. Wow. Right, Mechlin. I'm pretty sure he didn't get attacked this turn because he's detected. So, and I don't think we've got BVR, so he would have been undetected if he'd been attacked in standard. So what has he got? Mechlin's got he's got a -3. Ew. So he's got a -3. Yeah, he's got a -3 but a +8. So this is a +5, and he needs a 20. 9 + 5 is 14. So not any good for him either. That's good. I'm just looking at, well, actually I don't think Wolf can. I'm pretty sure Wolf was involved. And he might not have been. I think he was involved in air combat with Vegas, wasn't he? And Markov was involved with 108. What would Wolf... The thing is, he's not getting any pluses. Yeah, you know what? He's got a -1 aggression anyway, so he would have to roll 21. So he can anyway, but I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be allowed to. And that would be the same for Vegas. Well, let's just check his aggression. His aggression's 0. I'm pretty sure they were involved in combat. I mean, why are they undetected? Chevy probably could. I guess as he's maybe got a minus aggression though. No, he's not. He's got a +1. Let's roll for Chevy then, because he's not been involved. He's got a +1. I mean, okay, he needs a 19 or a 20. But we've rolled some double zeros. Quite a few of them. Right, here we go. Not this time. So what are you thinking about Vegas, Grant? Well, you know what? I'll have a roll with him, and then if he succeeds, I'll then go and check. Because Vegas has a plus. No, he's got a +0. He needs to roll a 20. Right, I don't think we should be making this roll because I'm pretty sure he was involved in area combat. He needs a 20 anyway. So he's rolled 9, but like I say, I'm not sure that would have. If it had been a 20, I would have had to go and confirm that he hadn't been involved in area combat, and I think we would have found that he had. Okay, so I think that's everybody there. Okay, so moving on. Split flights, we're not going to do that. Roller remove shutdown. Well, I'm going to take this shutdown down one, so it's got one more, so that will come off next turn, but it's not going to affect us now. We've done the job on that one. Switch radar, switch SAM radars, remove SAM launch markers. Radar A fired. Radar A did fire there, so I'll remove that. And the SAM didn't launch. Zoom climb markers, there's none of them. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. There's no other markers. All the markers need to stay on. Oh, there was Max turn. Where was it? I'm missing them quite a lot. Was it Wolf? No. Oh, know who it was? It was our flight up there. It finished on the turn. I remember that. Need to watch them because I seem to miss them quite a lot. I think it's probably something that other people probably do as well. Just kind of one of the easy things at the end. Maybe not. Maybe it's just me. Okay, and then we're going to move the turn on to turn 11. So just 2 turns to go, and Mother is relatively safe. Well, yeah, this was huge. Mechlin and Klein still disordered. Can't do anything. Our only worry is Markov. Kind of feeling a bit. Well, like I've said, I can't move that much anyway, because I think it's going to roll randomly between Mother and Dodge to see which target it's going to have. Markov doesn't have BVR, does he? No, good, right? That would have been horrible, because it would have been squaring up head to head. You know what his BVR was? A range of 8 at the front. Oh, that would have been nasty. Anyways, he's run out. He's depleted his radar armor missiles, which were his BVR weapons. Okay. Right, all good. So I'll come back to turn 11, and yeah, I'll cut this part now. I might get back for another bit tonight, but that's me got started again, back into it. So hoping to complete that. I've still got. I'm off work still for another week. So, quite a few things going to come up though to do, but determined to start this other game on the other table, which I keep saying. I know. I'd have some other ideas about playing something, just probably off camera, just something away from the war game side of things. But I don't know. We'll see how that one works out. But I definitely want to get that started, have a go at that, and see what's what. One of the I'm missing a piece from the game, unfortunately, which I only found out. And I bought the game. I bought the game second hand, and I bought the solo expansion new. And I thought this missing part was in the second hand part, which is understandable. Maybe the guys just misplaced it, and it's not being in the back in the box. But it turns out the part was in the solo version, which is the new. So I don't know who I purchased it from, and I thought about trying to get in touch, but it's just a little player board, a turn track board there that's got like 10 squares on it or something. So I was going to just try and create my own. So I suppose that's sort of putting me off, because I've got to do that before I can start. But just making up excuses probably. But we'll definitely get this scenario finished as well within this next week, because, well, we've only got 2 turns to go, and there's not a lot to stop us, I don't think. Not saying it's impossible. It's impossible for to get stopped, but yeah, and I think this would be a great escape to have got back across. It's a pretty tough scenario, this one, I think. Yeah, okay, some lucky die rolls and that, because, well, I didn't get so lucky with disabling the AA, did I? We didn't do a very good job of that at all. But all their AA and SAM fire has not been the best, and we've got, and yet, what was it? The small arms took out our first helicopter, and that was way back early on. And I think that's what made it look like impossible we were getting out, because we were sitting in that hex in there with one helicopter and all this fire around about us, and just kept rolling, rolling good rolls. Anyway, right, okay, I'll get away for now, and I'll be back with part. This is part 27, isn't it? I'll be back with the next part, whatever it is. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, cheers.